Yo, we got fear, uncertainty, and doubt in this market. Let's dig into what articles I'm going to be going over today. Yo! Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, Jason the Tiger Osborne? Yeah, you caught the reference on there, man. Highlanders thing, there can only be one. That is so true, guys. So freaking true. There is, sorry about missing the video for yesterday, guys. I had totally forgot that I had prior arrangements to be a guest speaker at a virtual crypto meetup that was happening. It was like going across Rumble. I put the link out this morning on that. If you guys caught the video this morning for me working out, guys, catch that in the morning. Thank you for all coming out there. But it helps me keep me motivated. That's all. It gives me somebody to talk to while I'm lifting weights instead of being here at the house by myself. So as you guys are sliding on in, definitely smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Make sure you hit the bell notification for all, so because YouTube likes to play funny games sometimes. I'm just saying, sometimes people don't realize that the bell notification's not turned on for everything. At least that's what I've noticed. So, hope everybody is doing good as we start approaching, the holidays and the end of the year festivities. So, hope everybody was sitting there grinding there in the year so that, come next year, no matter how rough it was this year, hopefully you can make to next year a better year. Don't dredge on what's gone wrong in the past, during the past year that you didn't get everything you wanted done. Don't dwell on that. Just be like, okay, this is now on the checklist for next year, and guess what? It's at the top of the list now instead of at the bottom of the list. And just keep plugging along. Eventually you get through all those little checkpoints that you're supposed to be getting done every year. That's just kind of how I look at things, right? Especially with getting the business together for, the family mine, getting ever so closer. So we finally got our power and everything situated for what I think it's going to be for right now. Unless we can get into the next tier bracket, and then it'll drop down a little bit more. I'm not sure how much more I can get the power to drop, but we got a pretty decent rate. I'm not unhappy. That is for sure. I'm definitely not unhappy. I just wish it was a little lower. Would have been nicer, but it is what it is. Cannot complain over spilt milk, right? As they say. But we are plugging along over at the facility. And the next thing I got to start figuring out is how I'm going to get a transformer in there and a fuse panel so that we can get ever so more power into that facility so we can get some more of you people in there. We got people that are going to be dropping their rigs off. We got somebody that'll drop their rig off this weekend. So we got our second customer coming into the facility. We are slowly trying to bring people in. I got to figure out how I'm going to plug this guy in because we're not 100% set up for that. I do not have enough outlets as of right now. So we're now kind of in scramble mode just a little bit here, trying to grab the enough power to do what we need to do, right? So hopefully we can figure out. We just need I've got a fuse panel here. If I got to send that down to him, I will send that sucker down to him. It's a 200 amp panel. If I got to send it down there, I will. I'm at that point where I need to start figuring out how I'm going to get a transformer in this fucking facility. So, yep, I need a 200 or 300 amp transformer I got a 100 amp service, right, and a 100 amp switch on there that can be upgraded. So I don't know if I want to just get the smaller one now, get what I need to get operational, and worry about everything on the other side. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do, is just kind of look for a 100 amp 3-phase transformer and call it a day. I think that's what I'm going to do. That's my thoughts. So, yo, what up, Crypto Craig? What's up? So, knowing that I missed out on, that Financial Wednesday stuff, I didn't want to like leave you guys out on there. So I'm gonna make up for some of that stuff coming up today, because it actually was nice that I held off on there a little bit, because it allowed me to get some of the skibby on what was going on with the Federal Reserve the other day, that they announced that they were going to be raising their rates, but not as aggressively as they thought, as everybody was expecting. So they are now cooling off federal rate hikes now. They only went up 50 basis points, so they only went up 0.5%. But the market still kind of remains hawkish, bullish. So the U.S. Central Bank announced that it was increasing the federal rates. The decision brings the rates range between 4.25% and 4.5%, depending on what kind of a loan agreement that you're getting from directly from them. The Federal Chair Jerome Powell says that he expects to keep raising rates higher over the longer period of time. So he needs to raise these rates up, because inflation is out of fucking control right now, and he fucking knows it. He knows it. He's no Paul Volcker, where he's going to sit there and raise the interest rates to 16 points that it needs to. He needs to get the interest rates higher than the inflation rate. As soon as he does that, he basically puts the bear back into the fucking cave. Until then, And he's sitting here trying to use it as the job market as the gauge. This has got to be the worst measuring stick possible, because there has been millions of new jobs that have been created. But what they don't tell you is that these millions of new jobs were basically full-time jobs that they cut in half, because they can't fucking find anybody to do these jobs. There are not enough people participating in the workforce anymore. You got people like, my brother and stuff, where they're not working. My baby brother has never had a job. There's no new people coming into the workforce. We got this last generation that that is in the their late 20s, early 30s. Unfortunately, that also incorporates my business partner a little bit, but he is not the standard. Thank fucking God. Of people who have basically given up on the workforce, and those people who haven't given up on the workforce, they now have 2, 3, 4 fucking jobs. So yeah, it looks like they've got a lot of job fulfillment. There's a lot of new jobs. They're still trying to get new jobs, but you can only hire the same person so many times before there's just not enough time for them to eat, sleep, or shit. You know what I'm saying? They're basically going to keep raising these rates up until the last few remaining people in their workforce are out of a job. So he's using the job market as his gauge. So he's basically going to keep raising it until people start losing jobs. I'm just saying. And then with that being said, that's going to make it really hard for small mom and pops to compete, because they can't get the loans at the proper interest rates that they need to stay above water. This is going to have a big trickle-down effect. This whole shutdown on the economy really, really fucked shit up. This just poked a big old hole on it, and they're not going to be able to put the inflation genie back in the bottle. They have come past the event horizon on this one. And this all comes in right after, I had said it about 2 months ago, that the EU central bank had said something about cooling off on the federal rate hikes, because the last one that they did at 75 points the 0.75% interest rate hike was already devastating Britain. Britain already had to reverse and go back into quantitative easing. As the United States sits there and keeps on raising the interest rates. Now, these interest rates don't hit us directly. No company's going to be able, this is them sitting there being able to loan out to other countries. So other countries that are trying to pull loans from the United States, the lender of last resort, is now becoming more expensive for them to do so. And the problem with all of this is that the United States, every time they give a loan out, well, guess what? It's got to be a sweetheart deal for the United States, not just the interest rates. They've got to be able to pay it back the way that they want to have it paid back, because they don't want their money. The United States knows that everybody else's money is garbage. They want their goods. They want exports. So they loan them the money, and we give them cheap fucking money, and they give us valuable imports. And this is how our economy has been running. Now that we've stopped that economy and started printing money, the inflation goes out of control. The interest rates didn't match it to keep the genie under control here. They uncapped something something that they're not going to be able to fix. They basically pop their own bubble, because the only way that they're going to be able to fight inflation is that they've got to get interest rates above the inflation rate. I don't see how they're going to do that without killing off the economy. I'm just saying. And if they keep on sitting there and raising these interest rates up the way they do, this is only 24 hours afterwards, right? Boom. S&P 500 is down 2.5%. NASDAQ 100 down 3.47%. Bitcoin's been fluctuating down. It's down 2.37%. The US dollar, because the interest rates went up 0.5%. Look at that. We're almost 0.5% stronger. Imagine that. That's exactly what you expect to see when the interest rates get raised, is that's basically the US dollar with the dollar milkshake. Everybody's currencies from every country goes into the same milkshake, but there's only one straw. And as long as the US can sit there and just infinitely print money and raise the interest rates, they'll be the only ones siphoning off that straw. So as they raise the interest rates, the dollar gets stronger, assets become cheaper to buy. So people they're hawkish on the dollar, but not on everything else. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 2.35%. Russell 2000 is down 2.5%. Russell 2000 also has ARK Innovations with Cathie Woods. If you guys don't know who she is a big Bitcoin proponent. Her ARK fund has a lot of Bitcoin in there. She got involved with Bitcoin before MicroStrategies with Michael Saylor. She was the one that was trying to basically give clarity to Michael Saylor to get him involved into the market too. So with that being said, Bitcoin being down, there'll be some gold bugs out there like Peter Schiff going, yeah, the Russell 2000 is down because of ARK Innovation being down because of Bitcoin being down. And he's trying to draw the correlation between Bitcoin being 2.4% down to Russell 2000 being 2.53% down. That it's like, no, that's not how the correlation is not a 1-to-1 like that. Nice try. But, with the whole market being down on average about 2.3 to 2.5%, I feel that this is just kind of a healthy reaction to what the Jerome Powell did with the 0.5% interest rates. Now, he's saying he's not going to do anything else for the rest of the year now. But bump, right? I'm not sure if he's going to try to maybe raise interest rates 0.5% again at the end of Q1 of next year. I think that he should, whether it hurts or not. The quicker we get up the interest rate above the inflation rate, we'll have short-term pain for long-term gain. This is the only way that you're going to be able to put the inflation genie back into the bottle. Anything beyond that, you're just basically trying to kick the can down the road for a few more breaths of fresh air before it all implodes right in your lap. So unfortunately, it's like, save us, you Jesus, for sure. Oh yeah, Gundy, save us all, save us. So I mean, watching these markets all kind of be fluctuating around, Ethereum, you're looking at about a 3.5% change. Monero, you're looking at a 19% change. Litecoin is almost a 4% change. ETC is about almost a 4% change. Doge is a 4% change. This is all negative. Gold went down basically 0.5%. Overall, it didn't really move too much. Silver didn't move too much. Gold and silver being such a matured market, such a long-term market makers in there. Gold and silver doesn't have wild swings unless something really big happens. Outside of that, gold and silver will kind of fluctuate in this like real small little window. It ticks up ever so slowly. Its movements up are like fucking you buy it and just fucking forget about it. You put it in the back of your closet and be like, oh wow, I remember that. I bought this. Put that back there. Because like gold really won't be a savior. Gold and silver is not a savior unless you have a total economic collapse. Then gold and silver become your savior. Outside of that, and if you really want to sit there and really think about it too, Bitcoin fits into the same category. When the money's garbage, people will flock over to that because it's easier to transport outside of gold, easier to do commerce because, it's all digital. Commerce today is digital. Gold is being gold and silver are analog. Gold and silver does not fit inside of the technological era that we have today outside of, the circuitry in your phone. There's a lot of gold in here. I'm just saying. So, I mean, like, with the way that the market is, all I can sit there and say is this whole range that we've been trading around in has basically just been buying opportunities with real small arbitrage that you can do between price points. So if you're trying to swing trade, a lot of this Bitcoin chop that we've been having lately, you're going to be having a field day with it because all you have to do is wait for the next drop, buy a little bit, wait for the next pop on it. No matter where it goes, just sell. You're in profit zone, right? But, it's like the way I'm looking at it is every time it drops, that Bitcoin itself drops down, it is a buying opportunity for myself. And where do I see, that sweet and busy Bitcoin going, guys? We've been, since the whole FTX crash here, we've been, slowly kind of ticking up ever so slowly. We are regaining momentum back up, guys. I'm thinking that we need a little bit of a pullback. And what I mean by a small little pullback is that a few days of a run up, a pullback, and a few more days of a run up, to me, is a healthier way to recover. That means you had some people that have taken some profits to alleviate some of the sell pressure when Bitcoin gets back up to a nice level, at least up to the level of where the FTX crash started, right? So if we can get Bitcoin back up to like 21,000 or so, we are doing good, right? So yeah, we have some big options that are, I think, that are going to be coming up into the future with Bitcoin. I think we should see another pullback. We are already printing a spinning top here, which is basically, to me, it's almost like neutral buoyance in the sell and buying pressure. Basically, the bulls and bears just fought it out, and it was a stalemate. and it dropped down just a little bit. But the next thing it's like we're probably going to see is a reversal hammer here. Might trade out sideways and then pop down a little bit, and then we should tick back up a little bit harder. That's kind of, and I'm not talking big movements. We have not been making big movements. And this time scale is on the day. You can see that each day's closing, beginning and closing is not a lot of volume going on. So the price action's been pretty flat. To me, this is the market kind of going, okay, what the hell just happened? Okay, a little panic. And then you have people going, okay, I'm feeling a little bit more confident. And we are basically coming down to and the whole the moving averages, which you can see here is the ribbons, they're tightening up, and this shows for a movement. I'm hoping this is a consolidation for a movement upward, and we regain back up to that $20,000 Bitcoin by end of year. And I think that will be putting us right on track to where I thought we were going to be. I was thinking we're going to be between 18.5 to 20 grand, right? So if we can get anywhere into that, we're really close to that range right now. The MA ribbon tightening up right now. It shows that we might be setting up for a little bit of a move, a little bit of a Christmas rally. And that's what I'm freaking praying for right now. That would help me out with the mining facility oh so dearly. All right. So it's like it with the whole price of Bitcoin action coming on here. I'm not too worried about it. I think we're holding the line here. I was thinking if we were to drop anywhere, we would have dropped down to like 12.5 as being the low. And it looks like we hit 15,637, give or take, guys. And if you see here, I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen. I have a little red line here. I basically have this red line drawn from the beginning of Bitcoin all the way out. I drew this line in 2018, guys. Okay? 2018, I put this line down on the chart going, this looks like the medium average of from the data set points that I was looking at, this looks like the medium average of where Bitcoin should be. Guess what? We are right on the median average. Perfectly. Bitcoin is right on that trend line perfectly. So I think we are in that nice, healthy range of where Bitcoin pricing should be, guys. So, that's just my viewpoint on it. I know everybody wants to see a $1 million Bitcoin. That is everybody's, moonshot. If you got one Bitcoin that's worth $1 million, oh my God, But then, it's like here, you got $1 million. It's a life-changing event. Would you quit your job? Hope the answer is no. I hope the answer is no. It's like quitting your job just because Bitcoin hit $1 million. We all know the volatility of Bitcoin. Bitcoin can pull back instantaneously, guys. And then what are you left with? A whole bunch of bills you can't afford. So careful with Bitcoin. If it ever does pop off that hard, it's going to pull back unless there was a particular reason for the price of Bitcoin to skyrocket like that. The last time when it went up to $64,000, I was calling for a pullback. The moment it went above $40,000 per Bitcoin, I was calling for a pullback on there. If you guys are on DCA Adventure, during that little bull run, you can hear Jay chit chatting with me in the chat while he was live streaming, and me and him sitting there saying that this is still in a bear market. We're in a bull run in a secular bear market. I'm like, this is going to come back down. We're going to blow off the top here, and a lot of people are going to lose out. I thankfully, yes, I lost top value. You know, I mean, do I regret a little bit of it? Sure. I mean, who wouldn't have regretted, you know, sitting there going, oh man, it's going to come all the way back down this far. Had I realized that, I probably would have, you know, liquidated all assets and waited for the price to bottom out and bought back in. Had I known. I was in, you know, it's like everybody. I'm like, nah, it's not going to go back down that much further. It can't. And it blew past everything that I thought of. And then by the time I was like, it's too late now. We're in it for the long haul. So, I mean, it's like I lost out on gains, but there were certain points where I started, son of a, hold on. Somebody at my door. Boy. Sorry about that, guys. So, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, don't sit there and get tripped up into the price of Bitcoin so much. You know, it's like for right now, treat this as your savings account. And if you need it, you know, be careful of when you're pulling out, of course, you know, but if you need it, you need it. But outside of that, just treat this as your savings account. You know, all I really try to do with my own personal stuff, it's a savings account for me. Yes, I do live off of Bitcoin directly. I'm in a different situation than most people, where I basically earn crypto, right? So, I mean, I pay my bills with crypto. You know, the facility is, you know, I make my money through the facility. That's just how it goes. Is it, you know, enough for running the whole facility the whole time? I'm just glad I got a little bit of a cushion. I bought a little bit more than I really needed, but I wanted to ensure that I had the power for everything. So it hurts right now, but it'll have long-term gains. So that's how I'm looking at it. Ooh, burpage. All right, so getting onto other things here. Yo, check this out. MetaMask allows users to purchase and transfer Ethereum via PayPal. My thoughts on this? Don't fucking use it. I've been telling people to not be using MetaMask too. MetaMask is fucking garbage. It's a centralized shit wallet. All right. The moment that they basically cut services off to Russia was the moment that I was like, MetaMask is garbage. That is a trash wallet. Just because it works for you right now, just because it doesn't bother you right now. Do you want to support a company that is basically censoring and doing denial of services to a whole particular region because of a particular government's decisions, good or bad, right? So the Russian people had to move all of their funds out of there. And it's not because of MetaMask directly. It's because of one of the companies that MetaMask is partnered up with was not going to allow MetaMask to operate out in Russia. This is a problem. And on top of that, them now getting in bed with PayPal. PayPal is already sitting there willing to censor your transactions on PayPal. This is a problem too. So if you sit there and you link up your PayPal account to your MetaMask wallet, and they sit there and they make their little carbon credit system on there like they're fucking trying to do, where, you know, they'll fine you up to $250, $2,500 in fucking in Bitcoin. You know, because your MetaMask wallet is attached to it, and they just go, oh, you said something we didn't like, and you've already KYC'd your MetaMask wallet. Thank you for your funds. Please watch how you speak next time. Yeah, I'm trying to get off of PayPal myself. As soon as I get to a point where I can pay everything down off of my PayPal account, probably not going to use it no more. I do not want to sit there and deal with people who woke ass companies like PayPal. And if you want to deal with woke ass companies like PayPal doing business with MetaMask that you happen to be using, which MetaMask has a woke ass company that's partnered up with them already, this might not affect you today, but it might at some point. Just saying. I probably would not be rooting for this in any way, shape, or form, just because of how PayPal has their back end on the crypto industry. It's not something that they're offering directly. It's through a third party. So PayPal is not directly touching any crypto. You cannot transfer the crypto. If you buy Bitcoin on PayPal, you can't move it off. There's a lot of issues that I see with how the PayPal services are too. It's like I just see this whole partnership spelling bad news for any MetaMask users moving forward, guys. It's like, don't keep cash in a bank. It's not financial advice. Yeah, actually, you can actually say that's almost bordering not financial advice, security advice. For the sake of monetary security, if you put your money in the bank, it becomes the bank's money. Just remember that. When you put your money in there, so you get your paycheck direct deposited, well, it goes directly into the hands of the bank, and it's the bank's money instantaneously. Yeah, just think about it that way. I know, head just exploded. You as soon as you put that money in the bank, you can just be like, it's almost like South Park. And it's gone. Right? We are getting closer and closer to these big corporations trying to influence the on-ramps and off-ramps into becoming the part of the police state, right? That each government's trying to set up. And it's sad to see that a company like MetaMask is willing to help out with all of this. Another reason why I'm glad I do not use such a trashy wallet that, say, I don't care how nice and flawless it may or may not work. Do not care. Cannot support woke ass companies that are helping the surveillance state, in my opinion. You guys can do what you will. Hopefully it doesn't work out against your better judgment. And another thing here with the whole FTX thing, we have Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary slams Binance for putting FTX out of business. yeah, the business. One of the bigger exchanges goes, hey, let's audit our books real quick here, guys. Hey, this FTT token. What's this all about? Why do we got this on our balance sheet? Oh, it's part of the FTX. How's it got all this valuation? Where's it coming from? Somebody looks into it and they're like, yeah, we probably don't want to hold on to this. It just looks like wash trading. Oh, okay. So he gets rid of his stuff, and basically Kevin O'Leary is sitting there slamming Binance for selling their FTT token. That basically led to a bit of a bank run on FTX. I'm not going to sit there and blame Binance for being the first one to figure it out. That's called having done your research. And the moment you research something and you realize this is a bad position, you don't think about it. You don't think about it in any way, shape, or form. you just turn around and get the hell out of that position. If you know it's a fucking dumpster fire, that you are basically, you are part of the liquidity of that particular coin, you need to just walk away from it. It doesn't matter what the investment is. Let it be in the fucking traditional stock market. You know, if you're playing in the fucking penny market where, you know, 99.999999% of all the penny stocks fail. That's the same thing with cryptos, not Bitcoin. Cryptos, 99.999999% of them will all fail. And these different cryptocurrencies are too ignorant or too hard-headed to realize that maybe they should start trying to work together to try building a better product collectively, instead of having a kind of cool, funky idea that doesn't go anywhere. I'm just saying, you're being a coding engineer with trying to make a code to solve a problem that nobody cares about. It's the same thing in the penny stocks. You know, fucking got a whole bunch of these little itty bitty companies trying to make a name for themselves, and yeah, maybe a couple of those companies should get together and try to make a better product. Because like they maybe together, the both of them have enough money collectively to do the research and development to do things the right way. It's the same thing, you know, whether you're investing in traditional markets or in the crypto. And Kevin O'Leary doesn't want, he doesn't want to sit there and admit that he was absolutely wrong about Sam Bankman-Fried. He was wrong about FTX, and that he just lost a lot of money because he was shilling FTX, getting paid to promote FTX, and he had that FTT token all being held up on that fucking FTX exchange. That's where he had his crypto. He just fucking lost his fucking percentage foothold. So he's now pissed. And now he wants to sit there and blame fucking Binance for him not doing his due diligence and realizing that it should have been Bitcoin only, and he should have been self-custodied in his own fucking personal, Bitcoin Core wallet. I'm just saying, you do those little, that little measure right there. Never leave it on a fucking exchange, because like putting your money into a bank, you leave it on the exchange and it's theirs. You become a debtor to them. And debts get paid pennies to the dollar. So if you got a fucking $1,000, you'd be lucky to get $20 back. I'm just saying. That's how brutal it gets during bankruptcy court. And they're not going through bankruptcy. It's a Chapter 11 restructuring. And yeah. It's funny that Kevin O'Leary, even with the restructuring lawyer coming out and publicly slamming Sam Bankman-Fried, that the bookkeeping was garbage. They were using a QuickBooks for the fucking company. QuickBooks for the fucking company. Yeah, let that sink in. QuickBooks. Kevin O'Leary says it's Binance's fault. While they were using QuickBooks, no stop losses and commingling funds. That's where you sit there and you're now looking at a child, Kevin O'Leary, sitting there trying to lash out at everybody that might have been a cause of something. No, I think Binance was the smart person in the room. Then just like, I'm done. We're out of here. We're out of here. We're done. We're going to walk away from this right meow. Let's do one of these numbers. Right? And I'll give CZ a pat on the back and a handshake on that one, being the first one to fucking in the room to figure it out. Don't get mad at the message. Get mad at the don't get mad at the messenger. Get mad at the person who wrote the message. The message came from Sam Bankman-Fried that it was a fraud, that it was a scam, and that there was nothing holding up the company. There was no money. There was no Bitcoin. And the amount of Bitcoin that was in there, the Bahama government forced him to liquidate that out so that he can give that money to the people in the Bahamas that were invested into FTX. He gave them 24 hours to get their out. You don't hear Kevin O'Leary talking about that. That they gave the Bahamas 24 hours after they closed down the market for the U.S. I'm just saying, there's some shady dealings here, and to be and this guy to be sitting there and basically slandering Binance over this one, and not saying that I think that Binance is all that good either. I don't like any of the exchanges really. Can the market take another exchange collapsing at this point? Probably not. I would probably have to shut the doors on the facility if that happened. If Binance collapses and the price tanked hard enough, that might put me out of business before right as I start up. And you know what? It is what it is. It really is. It is what it is. I'll deal with it. But I'm not going to sit there and throw Binance under the bus on FTX. I just look at what Binance did as being the smart man in the room. That's what they were. The smart man in the room. Just another reason not to trust anything with famous people doing ads for them. Yeah. I mean, FTX had Kevin O'Leary, Tom Brady, fucking the guy from MSNBC. There's like a lot of people that were advertising for FTX. And let me just put it this way. I'm gonna throw this one out too. Here's a statistic that most people don't realize. Every company that has sat there and bought naming rights for any sports stadium has failed. Let that sink in, guys. There is no company that has survived by having naming rights on a fucking stadium. So anytime you see a company buy buy naming rights on a stadium, go through your portfolio, make sure none of that, you don't own any of those stocks, because that might be a selling point. When they buy naming rights on a stadium, they're at an all-time high. They're drunk on money and they're spending like crazy. Instead of investing back into the company, doing things properly, they were spend. And unfortunately, the way that FTX was doing it was customers' funds paid for the naming rights on the stadium. FTX customers paid for Kevin O'Leary's advertisements. FTX customers paid for Tom Brady's endorsement. FTX paid for Sam Bankman-Fried's multi-million-dollar mansion in the Bahamas. It's like, and then they were sitting there, donated millions to the fucking Democratic Party, a small little pop to the fucking Republicans, but he sat there and he would have donated directly to Republican candidates that he thought were basically an easy lose for the Democrats. So that if they put that particular Republican up, he would automatically lose compared to a Democrat. So they would pick out the worst Republican candidate, sponsor them privately, and knowing that the Democrat has a higher percentage of winning over the not so well-funded, better Republican candidate. This is how the Democrats basically played the field. Democrats do donate to the Republican Party, but again, they only donate to Republican candidates that they know that they can win against. This is, it's the dirty side of politics. But unfortunately, again, FTX funds, customer funds, were used for that purpose of trying to get Democrats elected. I think, it's like there was something around $15 million that they're saying that should ultimately be given back to the FTX fund, so that the customers that are now out their crypto can actually try to get some resemblance of repayment back. The United States customers are not a very big portion of Binance. I mean, not Binance's, FTX's market, because there's FTX and FTX International and then FTX US. FTX US is a very small subsect of it. They're figuring between, maybe up to about 10% of the whole FTX market. So you damn straight that the government is wanting to go after Sam Bankman-Fried and put him in jail, especially since Sam Bankman-Fried is a U.S. citizen. So U.S. does have jurisdiction over its own people. Just because you're in another country does not mean they can't extradite your ass back to the United States. But talking about Binance too, guys. It's not like Binance is not under a little bit of backlash too. So Binance's failure, people are talking about rooting for Binance to die at this point, right? Following multiple bad headlines for Binance in the recent days, attention is turning to a possible collapse. Since the fall of FTX, Binance has sought to position itself as the lender of last resort, establishing the industry recovery initiative. Critics point to the similarities between FTX's native token, FTT token, and Binance's BNB token. However, there are, what this writer sits there and says, significant differences. I don't really see any real significant differences. I would have to see how they are dishing out the BNB token. If BNB token is being levered up just as bad as FTT token was, Binance is in the same position. Do I root for Binance to go down in flames? No, because they can, just not this year or next year. They can go down in flames. Just let the market absorb one failure at a time. I mean, we already did Celsius. And now it's like now with the FTX, it's like we need to have a little breather in there in the market. Let the market kind of readjust itself for what just fucking happened. That was a big shock to the system. And then let it kind of recover a little bit. And then if Binance wants to implode afterwards, let them. But Binance also, he did tweet out and stuff. He's like, audited proof of reserves, transparency, Binance. Binance's Bitcoin reserves are fully collateralized according to the audit, from TechCrunch.com. So, if they've got a 1-to-1 with Bitcoin, it doesn't matter how much, BNB tokens in circulation. If they've got, if their reserves cover all of their positions plus all the customers' funds. This is another reason why you should also be keeping your fucking funds off of the exchange. I do not care if Binance has proof of audits. You don't know how much leverage he's got on the backside. I think he's one of the better industry players at this point, trying to establish himself with certain levels of credibility. I think is he perfect? Oh fuck no. But I think overall he's got a good heart in the market. But at the end of the day, he's still he's a shitcoiner at the end of the day still. And even with, it's like Binance does not need to have a BNB token. I would like to see how much of Binance's reserves are also with their own fucking, if they count it in the BNB token into their reserves in any way, shape, or form. It's the stupidest thing. It's not like you got your gold miner with gold, or a Bitcoin miner with Bitcoin. Your byproduct is the Bitcoin. your Bitcoin has got the value into it, right? If their value is, if they're saying it's collateralized and it's collateralized into BNB token, then we are looking at Binance having a potential issue if they try to basically exchange out the BNB token for Bitcoin. How much could Binance buy in Bitcoin before they tank the BNB token? Just saying. There's people who have chimed in on it. If you don't know who Leah Halpern is, it's like she's sitting here going, I don't understand why people are cheering for Binance's collapse. She's like, you realize if Binance goes down, everything else will crumble. It's like, yes, Bitcoin will survive, but the entire crypto ecosystem, including stable coins, will die. I don't think Tether would. I'll disagree with her on that. And I don't play in the crypto ecosystem. So if the crypto ecosystem goes bust, to me, doesn't mean shit. I don't care. Period. Bitcoin's not going to go anywhere. It will set the price of Bitcoin back a lot. It'll make that price come down a lot. The mining difficulty will come down a lot. I will figure out how to sit here and take my mining rigs that I have currently and have them fucking hashing away when the price drops like that, because those mining rigs are going to go nom 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 nom. I will mine here at the house no matter what the price that I have to pay. So I mean, like, no matter where the market goes, I'll be fucking mining. But it's like the Binance's exchange with an exchange average volume of 7.7 trillion in 2021, and in the last 24 hours they had about $15 billion in trade volume. Now a lot of that is going to be wash trading, so I would say for people buying in and out, buying Bitcoin and then pulling it off the exchange, I don't think it's going to be that much. You are talking wash trading through shitcoins. So this is like kind of like to me a little bit of a market bullshit here. 15 billion in trade volume. It's like, and they said specifically trade volume because none of that 15 billion ever came off the exchange. It's there right now. It was there last week, and it'll be there at the week after that. It does not matter what their trade volume is. I want to see the Bitcoin coming and going. What is the actual amount of people buying in with dollars outside of the retarded trade volume? Because that's going to tell you the market interest is the amount of people actually buying. If you're talking about in the last 24 hours, there was only $1 million worth of new Bitcoin that were new buyers of Bitcoin. $1 million in a multi-billion-dollar industry. That is nothing. So to me, that is like more of a nothing sandwich. 15 billion in trade volume sounds amazing, but again, it's wash trading. It's fucking trading bots trading on fucking Binance. We all know it's there. And to be sitting here and keying in on that price point just kind of pops up Binance to make them look a lot more important than they really are. To me, this is just like marketing scheme to make a shitcoin exchange look better than what it really is. Because of the fact that they do have the BNB token, it doesn't, depending on how they're, spending that BNB token that they invented out of nowhere, that has no financial backing outside of dumb people buying it. It depends on what they're doing with it and how much do they actually hold. It's like, is Binance too big to fail? Fuck no. The crypto industry has seen big fucking exchanges die. We've seen big Ponzi schemes. We'll probably see a few more. If Binance goes away, it'll set Bitcoin back a few more years. It'll be, probably won't be until about the end of the 2020s, until Bitcoin recovers fully from it. But the rest of the cryptos, I can give two shits about if they die off. These developers should, combine their fucking knowledge together and make a better product. I'll say that over and over and over again. None of them singularly have a good product. None of them. They're all centralized garbage tokens that the devs can sit there and do what they want, how they want, when they want. They can make it look like they've got a voting system on there, and they can gamify it. That's the problem with fucking voting structures in crypto, is that they're all gamified. So if you know how to game the system, you can bend the will if you got enough money. And that's the problem with the crypto industry, is that you see the whales doing just that. So I mean, like, and if the whales are doing it with crypto, it's because it's got, they're just basically trying to take your guys' money. I'm not telling you not to get into the cryptos. Use it. Just know that you're probably gonna lose. You're going to the casino and the house always wins. And then, there's a few other people that have been chiming in with the whole Binance thing, and I think this part's funny. This guy here. It's going to bring her right to the tweet. Oh, wow. Yep, I'm still bandied from here. I didn't want to... All right, so... if you are one of the idiots rooting for the collapse of Binance, unfollow me. Binance is the largest exchange in the world by a long shot. Has always put users first. No, they put profits first. They're a company. And fought for adoption. They had people pay for their adoption. Sure. If you are rooting for them to fail, you do not care about crypto. No, I don't care about crypto. I care about Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin ain't crypto. Crypto are a bunch of shitcoins invented from nothing to separate you from your Bitcoin. They want you to sell them your Bitcoin for their shitcoin. I don't go that way. I mine shitcoins for Bitcoin. I go the other way. I'm just saying, the exchanges can buy the shitcoins. I'll take the Bitcoin. And the exchanges can be the buyer of shitcoins. If the exchanges want to be the shitcoin buyers, let the exchanges be the shitcoin buyers. I personally just don't go down that rabbit hole. No fucking way, guys. No way. So now that we are at that 1 hour mark, I've actually gone through all the articles that I wanted to go through today. I'm on time with this. He's going to have to wait 2 seconds because I'm going to get up out of here, guys, since I got a person that's been trying to get a hold of me here for a couple minutes. He just got off of work, obviously, wants to come on by, which is cool. He's just got to wait just a minute here. So thank you, everybody, for being here. Remember, smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe if you're made it this far and you're new. Hit the bell notification for all. That's why we get all the notifications whenever I go live, guys. If you guys are miners and you've got your rigs turned off and you would like to have us host your rigs here at the Family Mine LLC, I have a Patreon link down below. Go ahead and join. Get into the pseudo hasher tier, guys. It's got just a small, little itty bitty perk in there, just a small one. And it will basically, I can't tell you what it is, but there's a little bit of a perk in there that goes along with the Family Mine. So, but you got to get a part of it to know what's there. If you don't want to join the Patreon, that's fine. You don't have to. Think about joining the Discord. All the links are down below, guys. Love to have you part of the Discord, be part of the conversation. You don't have to be just crypto minded. We do gaming, cars, movies, whatever. We're a pretty diverse, community that will, if you got any computer problems or whatever, we got a great group of people, including myself, that will be more than happy to help you out with your with any kind of computer problems. You don't even have to be a computer person. There's enough collective knowledge in the Discord that a person with zero knowledge, we can effectively help walk you through diagnostic of your computer and have you fix your computer yourself. I'm just saying, there's that much knowledge in the Discord. Be there or be square, guys. And with that being said, yeah, definitely drop those FAs in the Chizzity chat, guys, because you guys are rated F for fucking awesome. Yo! I've also got 3D print stuff going on too, guys. Changing over filament type to PETG. If you guys are unfamiliar with PETG filament for 3D printers, that's basically this a printable variation of plastic that you would see in sports water bottles. Yo, so we're talking that it's plastic that won't leach off into the water, which is nice. Kind of recalibrating my machine to be able to print that up really nicely. As soon as it prints up nicely, I'm going to have some pretty cool stuff coming up with printing up something for my cats. So check that all out when it comes up. I'm like stockpiling video right now and getting stuff. I want to have a few videos ahead so that I can start doing one video release a week. And it gives me enough time to do all of the video editing before I come up to the time of that I have to release another video. So this way there's less time intervals in between, and we'll bring back 3D Print Monday. So with that being said, guys, definitely smash that Lizzity like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. And I will definitely see you guys on the next one. Peace out, stay savage, and may your watts be low and your hash be high. Yo, I'll see you in the next one.